oldest niece. Time flies by. And I know all parents know what I'm talking about. They look at their grandchildren and think to themselves, I remember my daughter being that age, and now she has one of her own at the same age. And so we need to take advantage of the time today because our years are come and gone in the blink of an eye. The Holy Family teaches us family values, and it is something that I believe we need to hear in this day and age. We have seen the deterioration of these values over the past several decades. To be honest, I don't know when this deterioration started. I looked up the Crusade of Prayer, I don't know if you all remember that, in which I participated in the 1970s. And I didn't realize that it had actually started during Second World War. It was started by an Irish priest whose name is Father Patrick Peyton. And I don't know, maybe the Holy Spirit led him to do this because it knew that something, like the Holy Spirit knew that something was coming, something like this. But it does seem to me that many of us who lived through the 70s and 80s and before that had those family values instilled upon us. I know that I grew up with those family values. I actually remember hearing in the 80s that the devil was seeking to break up the family unit, and that it was our task to fight that as Christians. Some have blamed it on the Industrial Revolution, saying that people did not work at home at the farms anymore, but were forced to work outside, spending less time with the family. Some have blamed it on the corporations, many of which are open 24/7, forcing people to work on Saturdays and Sundays. Many of us remember the days when work was from 9 to 5, from Monday through Friday. And some of us will remember Dolly Parton's famous song, Working 9 to 5. Saturdays were the day for shopping, and Sunday was the day to go to church and spend time with family. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with any or all of these theories. I'm just stating the different theories. What I do know is that the deterioration of the family values is real, and we need to do something about it. And I think that today's second reading lays out those values very nicely, lovingly, but also very boldly. I think that these values are eternal. That is to say, they work in every day and age, yesterday, today, and always. St. Paul says, "Put on as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, heartfelt compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience, bearing with one another and forgiving one another if one has a grievance against another. As the Lord has forgiven you, so must you also do." St. Paul is a teacher, and the first thing that he wants them to remember is that they are God's chosen ones, holy and beloved. And of course, this applies to each one of us. You are God's chosen ones, holy and beloved. Your children are God's chosen ones, holy and beloved. Your husband, your wife, your father, your mother, your sister, your brother. This is our identity, our dignity, and our value. In treating each other, we must remember this, even the people that we disagree with. We are holy not because of our own achievement, because we are lost, but because of what Jesus did for us on the cross. He made us holy because He is holy. The church is holy because the head of the church, Jesus Christ, is holy. And the Holy Spirit continues that work in our lives if only we would let Him. But also, and more importantly, we are beloved. The reason I choked up on Christmas Mass, the day, is because I was overwhelmed by the sense of God's love for me, but also for all of us. God's love for us is just so overwhelming, there are no words to explain it. So then, as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, St. Paul says, put on heartfelt compassion. In other words, don't see your fellow Christians as competition. You are all in it together. Don't judge your brother or your sister. Remember your own weaknesses. Remember that you are a sinner also. If your brother or sister falls down, pick them up. Put yourself in their shoes. See things from their perspective. Even if he or she sins, don't abandon them. Show them love and compassion. Then he says, show them kindness, show humility. I think that the best definition of humility was given by St. Teresa of Avila. She says that humility is to walk in the truth. But it is not the truth about being right or wrong, or who is right or who is wrong. It's more than that. It's an inner attitude. It is something that comes from the heart. It refers to those who know the truth about themselves and about God, the things that they like about themselves and the things that they don't like about themselves, and are reconciled with that because that is how God created us. They accept themselves for who they are and don't pretend to be someone or something else. Gentleness. I think this is something that we need so much in our world. The bishop was talking the other day about how we have lost our politeness and our patience and our gentleness, both on the road and in our daily life. In the past, there would be 4 cars in a 4-way stop, and they would be signaling each other to go first. Today, they want to be first and don't seem to care who or what they run over. We were commenting at table how this season brings about the goodness, politeness of people, but then after the season, unfortunately, it is gone. Patience. Where is our patience? We want things done and we want them right away. I hear people thanking me for being patient in the grocery store or department store or a shoe store. We want to be first, second, third, and if there's anything left over, we want it too. St. Paul says that we need to bear with one another and forgive one another. How many people are counting the offenses other people have committed against them? Sometimes this happens between siblings. Sometimes it happens between spouses. How many people only care about number one and don't care about anyone else? It is sad that it has almost become an American thing, and I don't want that to be the thing for what we're known for. They would say to me, and I won't mess with you. It's none of your business. Of course, we can talk about many other values, but the question is, do we need